Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rafiq Abdul Qaddus. I am with Autodesk. I have the pleasure of being part of this BIM Oz initiative for the last 7.5 years. So congratulations to the team for a fantastic event for the last 10 years. That's a big ask for you to put this together every year. We have a lot of international visitors. Welcome, gents. Welcome to Australia. I hope you're enjoying your visit. And we are half an hour late, and I know we're standing between you and the networking drinks, so we're going to make this as quickly as possible. So if I can just get everyone maybe to very quickly introduce themselves. We're starting by Dave.
Can everybody hear me? Am I supposed to turn this thing on, or?
I think it should be on.
Oh, there we go. Now we're on. Dave Moeller, VDC Special Project Manager with Victaulic. Been in the industry about 26 years now on the engineering side and construction side, and with Victaulic for 8 years now, managing the VDC group.
Welcome. Alain, you still the same?
Paddy Ryan, CEO of Golgoner Group, and probably been in the industry, I've never counted, but maybe about 12, 15 years.
Yes.
I started as a civil engineer and now running a business.
Dave Pikey with Hill Group in Chicago. We're a mechanical, primarily serving the greater Chicago market.
Welcome, Dave. Dave, I'm going to start with you. I looked at your LinkedIn profile, and you've been in the industry and the BIM transformation for 21 years.
I have a LinkedIn profile?
Yeah, yes, you do. And I'm not stalking you or anything. Can you just quickly, I guess, tell us about how you saw the transition of the industry in the last 21 years, especially in the last 5 years? And then I will follow up with a question to Alain after that.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're a mechanical. For us, it definitely started with BIM, and this is what, 2003, 4, 5, right? And then the next big change for us was the integration, specifically around fabrication, right? The fabrication platform. So, and I'll talk a little bit about this tomorrow morning. But you know, our estimating systems are connected to our BIM systems, and those systems they're not connected to our fabrication systems and our and the machines and automation that make our pipe and duct and plumbing and fire systems. They're really the same system. And so that was a big game changer for us, you know, going back to that 2005, 2010 range. And then after that, it's like steps, right? So then the next step was, now we can, you know, now we have the connected platform, we have the modeling and the expertise, and so now let's take advantage of whatever automations, machinery, BIM to fab, modular, and so that's just kind of been our journey. And in the last 5 years, the change, I was here. And I'm so honored to be back to this conference with you guys. But I was here 4 years ago in 2015, and again, I'll talk about this a little bit more tomorrow. But one of the last 4 years, it's really been where the gates have opened in terms of custom development and data, and being able to do things with your own developers and with your own teams.
Great, thank you, Alain. The reason I was going to follow up with a question with you, because you're passionate about transformation versus disruption. And one or two slides that Steve Fox put up on the screen got me really thinking. I mean, he put a picture of a typical architect in the early 90s with the CRT screen and the wired mouth and the big clunky board. But in 2019, I don't think we actually progressed a lot, because we're still looking at a screen, but it's a lot thinner screen on a fancy stand. The keyboard is still there, the mouse now is still there, but it's not connected. So it got me thinking, is this really transformation or disruption, or merely a very slow evolution? Before you answer, if I just want to give you, gents, the amount of growth that Australia is going to go through in the next 11 years. Infrastructure Australia released a report, I think it was 2017, and they said by 2030, Australia is going to be, is going to grow to another 7 million on top of what we which were 25 million. So we're not a large country, but going up from 25 to 25 million by another 7 million is a lot. They said to do that, we need 700,000 extra dwellings. Even that math doesn't really work for me, because 7 million people in 700,000 dwellings, that's 10 people per dwelling. I don't think it happens. So we need to accelerate that growth so much in the next 11 years to meet our growth expectation. So looking at the 1990s and the way we went from the 1990s to 2019, it's a very slow evolution. If we maintain that trajectory, we will not get to where we want to be in 11 years. So Alan, what levers do you see as a visionary that we need to start pulling on to actually get to where we want to be? It's only 11 years away.
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think it's about have we changed? Has anything changed? I think it's very difficult to answer, because this is an exponential technology. So when you say it's not going to get there, it's because you're thinking linearly. We've not changed very much, so nothing really happens. And with an exponential technology, you know, like if I take 2 linear steps, I take 2 meter steps, and then double that is 4 meter, and then double that 8 meter. Whereas exponential 2 to the 8 is 256, right? So I'm already outside the building. 2 to the 37 is not 100 meters that way. I'm at the sun, right? 2 to the 37 exponential steps doubling is the sun. So it's totally unexpected. So are we not changing? It's just, you know, it's just going to go like that. But we have to be dissatisfied. We have to be ambitious. We have to say 700,000 dwellings. We need that exponential technology to work for us. We don't want to draw every single one of them, but every single one of them needs to be humane, different, respond to the expectation of society, respond and meet the desires that is going to make a really good social environment. We don't want to build 700,000 identical modules. We know we can do it. Right? The industrializing construction is a problem that was solved in East Germany. It was solved by Le Corbusier. It was solved by Russian architecture. It leads to social disaster. The problem is not to industrialize. The problem is to create great social environments. And therefore, we shouldn't be looking at this technology to help us just produce 700,000 houses. Help us design 700,000 different ones. You know, use the variety. And when people say modular is not possible, and I'm sorry to go all mathematics on you, but you know about the prime numbers, right? You know that every single natural number can be factored in as its primes. So the infinite amount of natural numbers we have are built on a few primes, right? Count them. 1, 3, 5, 7, 13, 17. Then it starts becoming less and less, 23, 19, 23. And so we can make incredible variety with very, very few components. It's rearranging them that is that creativity, and it's incredibly complex, and computers can help us. So I think with exponential technology, we'll get there.
I really like that comment about industrialization and modularization, because at the same time, companies like Autodesk is producing generative design where you can put all the parameters in the program, and then you get thousands of options. So how do we keep that creativity, but at the same time keep it, you know, manageable and commercially viable? So thank you for that. Dave, you guys have virtual design and construction department, so we'd really like to hear about how do you use virtual design into construction.
How we've incorporated that into is really a lot about learning. And it's about learning from our mistakes. How do we grow from that? And then understanding what our customers' needs are. So implementing virtual reality into our design process has helped our younger team members advance quicker in the learning curve of a construction. Coming from manual drafting days of slow learning, it's on-the-job experience, things like that. It takes a long time. But bringing the job site into the office has helped us speed that process up so younger team members can get into there and see how big a plant room really is. On a computer screen, the chillers, the boilers, they look very small, they're easy to move around, but when you get into the virtual environment, you can see how big that equipment truly is by feeling like you're in that room. It's also safer. So we really focused a little bit more on the virtual environment, adapting Revit technology and some of the other software platforms out there to bring that information into the office. Getting your entire team globally to a job site every day or every week it's not realistic. It's not achievable.
So do you see it as already mainstream in the company, or it's still sort of like a trend that you're not sure if it's going to take off or not?
I think it's mainstream. You know, we're seeing more and more of it globally, and it's not just a cool item anymore. It used to be where this is a cool, flashy thing. It's neat to see, but now people are connecting the dots. They're seeing the value of how this can be used as a training tool, as well as a collaboration tool to avoid costly mistakes on the job site.
Great, thank you. Paddy, I also looked at your internet LinkedIn profile. So a couple of comments. The first one, Gaga Mueller is a technology startup within the construction industry, uses automation and data analytical solution to deliver end-to-end projects. There is a lot of data being collected. Whether it's on social media or there is, the rich BIM models. How do we move through the clutter? There is a lot of data, but as an architect, do I really need to have visibility in everything in this piece of whatever? As a subcontractor, I'll look at something else. As a contractor, I'll look at something else, and as an operator, I am expecting something else. So every part of the I guess the stages from initial design all the way to delivery, I think there is a lot of rich information getting added, and there is a lot more rich information getting dropped because I am just not interested at this stage. And then the next person is interested on something but not interested in a lot. How do we maintain all this rich data but also look through the clutter and figuring out what do we really need?
Yeah, you won't maintain it. There's a lot there. I suppose we need to just start using it in the first place. I think there's a lot of data there that a lot of the time companies don't even realize is there. They don't even realize that they could use it to their benefit. It's like anything. You start at the beginning. You set a strategy in place. You set up a plan, and you put your you align yourself to your goals. And you said, that's what I'm going to achieve. So if you're an architect, I mean, yeah, you use what you need, but there's no point getting involved with what the subcontractor is looking at. From a project management point of view, it's setting up that project management office at the beginning, setting up that what I'm going to use it for, where it's coming from and what I'm going to use it for. I mean, otherwise you're just looking for a needle in a haystack when it comes to the data. And look, what the stuff that we went through today and we put up on the screen, it's, in my opinion, still very amateur stuff. We're just getting to terms of what we can do with it. And as Elaine said, in the next probably 5, 10, maybe less years, I think we'll be doing some stuff that you look back at that presentation and laugh. So,
Great, thank you. I'm gonna finish off with Dave because we are already over time. But the change that we went through over the last 10, 15 years is nothing to what we are going through or will go through in the next 10, 15 years. One biggest item to me is change management, obviously, because really technology can do everything. You throw a bit of money at it, you get it done, whatever that is. But at the end of the day, people will have to buy into the objective of the exercise to make it happen or become hurdle at every step. How are you guys gonna manage that change management over the next 10 years? Have you even thought of that?
We have. We really have. So we have a totally different group within the company, the group I run, called Corporate Technology, which exists solely to implement and shepherd change and solutions and implementation through the organization. And so, you know, we are very, very aware that we are going to need to carry hours and people on staff outside of VDC. I mean, our VDC, our we call it virtual construction, VCG. Those guys are so important, right? The project managers and project engineers, right? We have all these roles of a typical mechanical, but there is a small but super dedicated group of people that exist just to implement and manage change. So simple, super quick, real good example, right? If you're a foreman and you've got a tablet or a computer or a phone and there's some shit running on it and you don't know what it's supposed to do for you or how it's supposed to make your day, this kind of goes to some of the stuff I think, or your philosophy, Patty. If you're not sure how that's supposed to help you, that moment, right? We have it dialed in. You can call, email, text, whatever, contact this specialized group, and they're on the way to your job site. Now, we serve the greater Chicago market, so it helps a little bit that, I can get everywhere. I can get to all my jobs via car within a couple of hours, right? I understand that doesn't scale. But we're not at scale at this point. So, but that's just a quick example of like, we have people ready to go, sit with our guys and walk them through what needs to happen so that, again, all this tech is working for them on a daily basis.
Gents, I would like to thank you very much on behalf of BIMMAPOS for your contribution to the forum. And one last request to Summit, I need David Bowie on the panel next year, okay? Well, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the forum. Thank you.